Good evening, everyone. I wanted to personally thank you all on behalf of the Redhands board for being here tonight. Your presence is a great gift to us, and your money, of course, would be a bonus. Thank you and namaste. I wanted to go through the quick agenda for the day. I'm going to go through the journey. I'll briefly talk about the journey and how the whole organization got started, how we arrived at Redhands, and the explanation of the goal. What started all of this? That's right. When I was very little, Mother Teresa is who I wanted to be. I was very inspired by this amazing woman. This is who I wanted to be, and being less than 10 years old, of course, I thought it was possible and I could do it. But then life happened. In my teenage years, things got a bit clearer. I struggled personally with self-confidence and self-esteem issues, and knew then that somehow I wanted to work with women and children. As I grew up, though, life got in the way yet again. I had all these reasons for not giving, and I wanted to share with you the reasons why I didn't give as much as I could have until now. One of I suppose, the first reasons why we don't give is that we think that there's just too much to do. How can little old me make a difference? Remember, you and I may need $1,000 a week to live, or for those of us who are wealthier, a lot more than that. But for the women who are struggling in developing nations, all they need is a few $100s, in some cases just a once-off $100 donation. And this actually goes towards helping a woman set up a micro business to support her family forever. They really don't need that much. As one of my favorite mentors said, Mahatma Gandhi, whatever you do in life will be insignificant, but it's very important that you do it anyway. The second reason, most common reason that we don't give, is that the people that we help are unknown to us. They're faceless and therefore it's hard to relate to them. Well, in Redhands, we intend to create that connection between the people you give to on the ground and the donors themselves. Through regular newsletters, through sharing case studies and visits to India, you can actually connect to the women that you are helping on the ground. The other reason why we don't give is parochialism. We want to give to those who are close to us. We donated more to the Queensland flood appeal than to the Haiti earthquake appeal. Nothing wrong with that, and I'm not saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying that we can't ignore what's going on in the rest of the world. We will make sure that you know the stories about the women on the ground. We will make sure that you can relate to them, and we will bring them closer to you. And again, as Mahatma Gandhi said, all humanity is one undivided and indivisible family. So how can you forget those around the globe? And the last reason, and I think this is the worst one, actually not the last reason, there's one more to go. This is personally the worst excuse and reason of all. This is a story of somebody and nobody. We think that someone else will take the responsibility, and at the end, no one does. And then the other reason, which is probably the reason that I didn't give for this many years, and that is that we think we need to give, or we need to be very wealthy to give. And as I said to you, these women don't need a lot of money. You start by giving a small amount, and it makes a big difference. Coming to the journey of how this all started. My son Roshan was 4 years old, this is in the year 2004, when he saw the victims of tsunami on TV. He was visibly upset and said that he wanted to donate the money in his piggy bank. At that time it was full. He wanted to give to those people who had lost so much. He reminded us to take him to the bank and give the money away for tsunami victims. He didn't know that $200 wasn't enough and it wasn't going to help everyone. He didn't think it was futile. He didn't think that these people weren't in Australia. He didn't think to ask if they really deserve the money or if they pull their weight. He didn't think that someone else will take the responsibility. My education, the skepticism as I've grown, have been hindering me on doing the work for those who can't help themselves. I was inspired by my little boy, but I was bogged down at the same time. It was at this time, his action actually didn't get me into action. However, around about this time, we went through the toughest challenge in our business, and that's when I started going through the journey of self-discovery. And again, as Mahatma Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that's exactly what happened. I was looking for various ways of serving others. I said I knew that I wanted to work with women and children, and I was looking for ways to give back. And that's when I actually came across the concept of microfinance. And I read a lot at Muhammad Yunus. He is the father of microfinance, for those of you who don't know. He set up the first microfinance organization in Bangladesh, and this is what he said. I did something that challenged the banking world. Conventional banks look for the rich, we look for the absolutely poor. All people are entrepreneurs, but many don't have the opportunity to find that out. And this is how it all got started. In 2010, I mentioned the idea of helping women in India through microfinance to my friend Janani. She got excited because her mother, as a senior executive in a bank, does exactly the same work. Then I spoke to another friend of mine, Vicky. She started the ignition. Her focused energy on this venture and her work started me moving forward rapidly. Everyone we spoke to was interested in being part of the organization. Then we worked to identify the board members and invited them to join us. That's how Redhands was born. A quick note about the name itself. A lot of people ask me where it came from. In Indian history, there was a king who was extremely philanthropic, and there was a saying that his hands got red by giving and giving, and that's physically giving. So that's how the name Red Hands was born. You know, I pondered for a while about whether or not I should tell my story, because Red Hands is not about us, and certainly not about me. I wanted to share this as I wanted to tell you all the reasons that I had to shy away from being part of this organization. The inspirational women that we attracted, however, we got the traction that we needed, and we got this all up and running in a very short time frame. I want each and every one of you here to be part of this organization, because I know everyone here is inspirational. That is why we have specifically chosen you to invite you to this celebration. It's no coincidence. Just like everyone in Red Hands, you all have day jobs, families, and commitments. You may not choose to be volunteers for us or to regularly attend to the needs of this organization. You can, however, trade that by providing monetary support. Vicky, in her presentation, will explain what that support is, and I will be grateful if you can provide any support to get us going. As I said to you originally, the goal of our organization is to empower women in poverty in developing countries achieve financial independence, self-esteem, and confidence through funding and supporting the creation of their own small business. Our organization exists to explain the plight of these women to you, to get you close to their lives so that you can see for yourselves how you are making a difference. Then we work through our partners in India to deliver these services. Our partner in Chennai at the moment is Mother Microfinance. The board and the office bearers understand that we are just a conduit. We're well aware, as I said to you earlier, that what we are doing is insignificant, but we must do it anyway. Our goal is to create communities helping communities. Red Hands is not just an organization, but a movement. The best definition I've seen of this is that a movement is a group of people who consciously and at their own cost connect to change the status quo. So I hope that every one of you in this room will find a way to join us in this movement. I welcome you to sign up as Foundation supporters, volunteers, or corporate partners, and truly become part of this movement. And last but not least, from one of my other favorite mentors, if you can't feed 100 people, then just feed one. I request you kindly, if you can't donate a lot of money, just give it enough to help women. Thank you and namaste.